In this video, we're going to take a look at how to write those equations for your car depreciation model. There's going to be a couple of them, and I want to show you how to do that because there's a few things we haven't seen yet as we make this math more complicated but also more realistic. So here is my example. All right, these are the equations I made. I know it looks like a lot, but I'm going to walk you through the steps here so you can make your own set of equations. So first, I've got my first equation. This is the easiest. This has the most basic knowledge that you will have to do on a test. So your first number is your starting point. So right here is the starting point. My car starts at $15,000. Yes, you will have to use different numbers. Then, because we are depreciating inside my parentheses, I have 1 minus. And the first depreciation rate is 20%. So I move the decimal point over twice to get 0.20. And those are what's inside the parentheses, and then to the power of x. All right, that's the basic knowledge to write an exponential function. Now, we're only using this function for the first year. So that's why my x values only go from 0 to 1. We're only using this equation for the first year. All right, that's the first equation. Second equation. So the next one is going to go from 1 year to 3 years. I would recommend start with inside the parentheses. That's the easiest part. So it's 1 minus again because it's depreciation, 0.15 because we're only losing 15% now. But we need to know the starting value. How much is the car worth? Well, it's gone down from the beginning, so it's no longer worth the $15,000. It's gone down a little bit. To figure out how much, what you have to do is take the ending number of the previous equation and plug it in over here. All right, the ending value of your previous equation is the beginning value of your new equation. So I took the 1 and I plugged it in for x. All right, that's the ending, and that will give me my new beginning right here. So I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to plug this in to the first equation. So I'm going to go to GeoGebra. I'm going to type in 15,000, 1 minus 0.20, and I'm going to raise that to the power of 1. That is what the car is worth after 1 year. I'm going to hit enter, and so you see it gives me 12,000. This value is my new starting value for my second equation. That's where I got the 12,000 from. All right. The next tricky part is why we need the x minus 1 up at the top. So to do that, I want to show you a graph here. So the first green exponential line that I have right here is from my first equation, 15,000 times 1 minus 0.2 to the power of x. That's the first equation. But remember, we're only using that for the first year, from 0 to 1. So we're going to go down the green graph, but here I want to switch to my second graph, the next one. And here you can see I have my second one typed in right here. But I don't have the x minus 1 yet. And as you can see, the blue line and the green line don't match up right here. So we need to take the blue line and shift it to the right. We need to translate it to the right 1 unit. The way we translate it to the right is we make this exponent an x minus 1. So I'm going to change this h value. And you can see the blue line is moving to the right. And as soon as I get it to an x minus 1, it gives me the simplified form right here. Now they line up. So for my model, we're going to take the green graph to here, and then here we switch to the blue graph, and we're going to ride the blue graph all the way to the third year, I believe, and then we switch graphs one more time. So I'm going to walk you through how to make one more equation, and then that should get you the pattern so you can keep going from there. So again, I would recommend start with your parentheses. So that's right here. So my third equation is going to be 1 minus, and the next depreciation rate is 10%. So there you see 10%. we're using this equation from year 3 to year 5. So there's my domain. But now I need the starting point. Well, I take the ending value of the previous equation and we plug it in, and that is going to give me my new beginning value for the next one. So I'm going to take 3 and plug it into this second equation. The ending of the second equation is the beginning of the third equation. So I'm going to do that one more time for you so you can see where those numbers come from. So now I'm going to do the second equation. 12,000 times 1 minus 0.15 to the power of 3 minus 1. All right, just plugging in the 3 for the x. The minus 1 is still there. And that gives me 8,670. And you'll see that is what I used right here for my next equation. So the ending of the second equation is the beginning of the third. So you should be able to follow that pattern to get the rest of your equations. You should have 5 in total. Good luck.